wanna fucking cost you.
He's scraping at the door! Scraping at the door!
If we were on Earth, we would have a glorious planet to live on. Thrive on!
Every duck's got his limit, and you scum have pushed me over the line.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bad Movie Touch, the only show on the internet to be 100% approved by Inhumans. I mean, probably. They got canceled, so it's not like anybody's really gonna object. See, I've actually been excited to do this episode for a while now because I love the episodes where I get to explain some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on in the entertainment world to you wonderful viewers. You see, we're currently living in a world where most executive decisions on films are based more on potential financial return than they are artistic merit. Now, I'm not really saying this is anything new in the industry per se, but the level and pace it's gotten to in recent years has kind of spiraled into this dark river of shit. Oh, hey Iron Fist, what are you doing here? So I don't really know where to start with how we all got here, so I'll pick something recent because I can finally talk about how great Iron Fist is. So Iron Fist is part of that special little section of Marvel, you know, the one they don't really talk about, that dark corner tucked away on Netflix. And in preparation for the eventual Defenders series, the execs knew that they had to make a show about one of the Defenders' core members, Iron Fist. Martial arts and dragons? That sounds cool as shit. You should get started on that right away. What's that? Oh, you're gonna wait till the absolute last minute and then get the guy who ran Dexter into the ground to run the show? Okay, I mean, it's interesting, I guess. Let me know how that turns out. Oopsie daisy. Was it any wonder it turned out so bad when it was created under those circumstances? Now, to be fair, I do think the first 6 episodes are really funny.
You chatter like monkeys. Your kicks and punches are like lace curtains. Silence your inner voice. Draw strength from your center.
But the last 6 episodes made me want to run through traffic and safely emerge on the other side because I realized midway through that I didn't want to make somebody's drive home a little worse. And then I'd feel good and happy again. And then I'd probably fucking shoot myself. The latter half of the season is painfully dull, mostly consisting of boardroom scenes and badly shot action. But I know what you're saying. Hey, Mr. Homeless-looking movie man, where's this all going? Well, you see, this all leads to our current product, but it's time to introduce another key figure to this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Mr. Ike Perlmutter. Or at least say hello to one of the few photos of him that exist, because I think this one took his soul and he refuses to take another in case it might come back. Now, one thing I try not to do on this show is I try not to gang up on a single person. I don't really think you need to do that all the time, save for some ego-driven ventures. So what I've done, instead of going off on some sort of lengthy rant or something, I've just written my thoughts about him on a piece of paper and I'm just going to flash it very briefly. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to write. I just wanted to write, I think it sucks that he prevented Marvel from moving forward on a Black Panther film and several female-led projects for many years because he thought nobody wanted to see movies that weren't about generic-ass white dudes, all the while trying to push his stupid Inhumans idea to have a competitor to Fox's X-Men when now that he's removed from the film side of things, we've seen a massively successful Black Panther film and a promising-looking Captain Marvel film on the way too, all the while Disney has been acquiring Fox and can probably use the X-Men again. But you know, that works too. So you heard that right, this dipshit was ousted from his position at the film side of Marvel, but that's the thing, just the film side. Remember that little corner of Marvel I said we don't talk about? Guess who still oversees that? So since he can no longer push forward with his stupid Inhumans movie that nobody wanted to make, he decided to do the next best thing, a kick-ass TV show. You know, this could actually work out a lot better, a long-form thing to really expand on a lot of characters and lore. What's that? You're gonna do the same thing you did with Iron Fist. Oh, you're even gonna get the same guy. Okay, well, it's a ballsy move, Ike. I don't really know if it's gonna work out. But hey, you know what? They seem to really be putting their all into this. Hell, they're even gonna be showing it on IMAX screens for 2 weeks. They seem to be really confident. Maybe this will all turn out fine. And then... there's some justice in the world after all. Let's finally do this. So we start off with that annoying thing that bad movies like to do where they slow stuff down and then speed it back up, except they don't actually have any cool footage to use this for, so they just use it on this girl running. It doesn't look good, guys. Oh shit, someone let the mask loose on set. You should really get away from him. Jim doesn't seem like he's all there lately.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Yeah.
And now it's time for wonderful dialogue.
You're safe.
Who are you?
My name's Triton. I've been looking for you. You're one of us.
What are we?
We are Inhumans. We don't fully know why this is happening, but you've been exposed to Terrigen.
And now I'm a freak.
Bravo. Bravo, good sir. Side note, this episode is called Behold, the Inhumans, and I just think that's great. Because, you know, they probably thought that sounded so cool, and it just doesn't.
Behold! Corn!
So these two weirdos decide that they need to
Run.
and then slow down. And there we go. Oh, and I guess they're also haphazardly dodging bullets. Guys, stop it. Knock it off, guys. Come on. So this girl dies, and Green Man does some jazz hands at her corpse, I guess to taunt her spirit or something. You know, this is really starting to amp up. I wonder how this green hero is going to be able to get out of this predicament. Schindler's List, the Inhumans. Now that guy may show up again at some point in the series, but he does not show up again in this hour-and-a-half long episode, so for our purposes here today, he's dead. Okay, that's over, I guess. Time to move on to somebody's fetish. You know that this hair, like that's doing something for somebody. Hell, maybe it's doing something for Scott Buck. You can't tell me it's not. This is the internet. We've all seen things we weren't supposed to see in our lifetime.
I'd never felt so naughty.
So here are two of our main characters, Hair and Scowl. Those aren't their names, but I don't care enough to keep saying Black Bolt and Medusa. That's way too many syllables. They didn't try, why should I? And here we're reintroduced to the only character that survived from the previous scene.
Do you remember what it was like before we were king and queen? Neither do I.
Horrible dialogue. Wow, such relatable characters. I too am royalty and cannot recall a time where I wasn't top of the fucking ladder. You're gonna see a big miscalculation with this show start to appear, but we'll get more into that in a moment when we meet a few other characters. Oh, that looks great. They did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the best introduction shot ever put to film. I crashed the moon. So nothing happens there, and we go back to the hidden city on the moon I guess no one has been able to find for decades. How many of these things have they destroyed? You're just not gonna tell me, are you? Anyway, Scowl picks up his brother, Pube Face. Okay, I'm not gonna go with that one. That one's a little too mean. So he picks up his brother, Axepad, and they go into some weird underground pool? And it's time to meet even more characters. Mike Tyson and Goat. Man, they get into an argument over this guy smashing the thing and...
If the humans on Earth see this...
Nobody is gonna know that that's a hoof.
It looks like a hoof.
I really don't think that was supposed to be as funny as it was. But goddamn, I love that cut.
But that's what it looks like.
You exhaust me, cousin.
I think what you mean to say is, thank you, Gorgon, for saving us once again.
Two things. One, that expositional dialogue was awful, as seems to be the trend so far. And two, I'm only going to be referring to Goat Guy by his actual name, because you cannot stop me from saying Gorgon over and over again.
What do you want to do about this?
We do nothing. We wait.
We do nothing.
I actually like Scowl's way of thinking. You just don't do anything. Just don't even spend your time watching this shit. Just lay on the floor for an entire day, see what happens. They keep cutting back and forth between these idiots arguing about the moon go-kart and those other idiots arguing about hooves. It's really riveting stuff, you know?
Regardless of what my genes might suggest, I'm an Inhuman like the rest of you.
I don't know if that was scripted or if that was just an honest reaction to how bad his delivery was. So Axepad is angry because Scowl wants to stay on the moon, and Axepad thinks it would be a much better idea to go to Earth, and honestly, yeah, why not? But do you think they're gonna, like, be afraid of you or hurt you? There's wizards, super soldiers, giant green monster men, and a purple Bruce Willis running around turning half the universe into dust in this universe. Who cares? No one's gonna give a shit that you're from the moon. That's just par for the course at this point. Oh, what's that? You're from the moon? Cool, I shrank past my atoms and went into another dimension of reality. The conflict of this show and this universe should be over in like 5 minutes.
I'm speaking for myself.
Excellent. Now, please, can you tell us what the king thinks?
Guys, this is getting a little weird here. Can we stop it? Stop it! And then they go back to the Moon Rover people for more boring scenes in an empty room. A Scott Buck favorite.
The Terrigenesis of Iridia and Bernaja. A sacred touchstone of our civilization that elevates us above all others, that allows the true nature of the individual to be revealed.
And this dude just talks through this whole thing like he just doesn't give a shit. He's so bored that he's here, and I honestly can't blame him. Is this like church for you guys? This whole thing is weird. Can I go back to the planet with the Norse god and the big green boy? I want to go back there. That place was fun.
Where's your sister?
I love that look. It's like someone off stage was holding a sign that said, remember, you're gonna be in the Inhumans. So far, everyone has just been explaining the plot out loud, and it's kind of hilarious how bad the writing is. It's like this was somebody's first script they just had sitting in a drawer for years and only dusted it out to pay for their medical bills. Oh, that looks great. So the PS3 graphic, I'll give it that, better than PS2, it's the only compliment you're getting. Takes her to this dumb ceremony that gives people powers, and this girl gets beautiful wings that look very easy to inflict harm upon, so she's useless. And this kid gets the superpower of epilepsy? But I guess he can tell the future because he tells Axbad that he saw him covered in snakes. Oh no, I hope there's nobody on the team who's named after a lady with snakes for hair. It's pretty easy to stay ahead of the writing in this show. You just have to be, you know, older than 7.
What did you get?
I don't know. I walked out of the chamber and fell down. I guess I had a seizure.
To the mines you go.
I love the whole setup of this society. Go into a chamber and get wonderful powers, or go into a chamber and have to work in a fucking mine for the rest of your life.
To the mines you go.
Seems like there's a great land of opportunity up there on the moon. But Axbad says he still has to be tested by the council and gives this speech that I don't know why I find it so funny, but I do.
Our outspoken friend here has a point. I had the worst possible Terrigenesis, being rendered nothing but a simple human. But my brother is king. And I am well aware that others are not so fortunate. Yes, Bernaja may possibly end up in the tunnels. But my brother is king. But his life, like some of yours, is only like this because of this place. But my brother is king. Our finite kingdom forces us into a strict caste system. But if we were on Earth, we would have an entire glorious planet to live on, thrive on. Each one of us. But my brother is king. Imagine that. My brother is king.
These extras are wonderful. And it's here we see that Mike Tyson got the most wonderful superpower of them all.
First day I'd be captivated by your beauty. Oh, the fun we'd have. Second day, it would start to bother me that you're a servant. And then I discover that you have dependency issues. You chew with your mouth open. And by the second afternoon, I'd want to kill you.
He has the power to be a dick. So to be clear, our leads so far are a royal family profiting off the enslavement of lesser beings, a goat man, and that kid you went to high school with that thought he was being cool by being an asshole to everyone. This is why you don't have friends anymore, Derek. Stop calling me for fuck's sake. Yeah, remember that little point I tucked away earlier? Well, it's coming back now. I hate all of these characters. Like Perlmutter wanted to make the next big, lovable group of superheroes, and instead he made a show about a bunch of dicks who run a slave colony. Gee, I love them. So then the only character who seems to be making any sense comes into the room to tell him that the mask is no longer smoking. That was fucking awful.
Dude, please show them Triton's last moments.
What the fuck? Do you just keep that guy around for when you want to watch a movie? Is he on call or does he live with you? Can he see the movies? Does he like them? Or is he just as confused as to why images are shooting out of his eye holes?
You have 8 eye holes.
So Axebag gets angry at Scal for keeping the mass mission a secret, which to me it still is. What was he doing again? Oh, that's right. He went down to Earth because it turns out that Earth is leaking the chemical that turns them all into superpowered freaks, and oh no, imagine what could be going on Earth if people suddenly start developing superpowers, like maybe there'd be one with a shield, and maybe there'd be one with a hammer, and maybe there'd be one that fights a convicted pedophile. Is Howard the Duck canon? Do you want more bad exposition? What's that? You don't? Well, you shouldn't have been watching the Inhumans, you dipshit, so here you go.
These are members of our own family.
Descendants of those left behind when we made the move to the moon.
I think I was speaking to myself there. I'm the dipshit. I'm the one who has to sit through this.
That is why Triton was sent. To bring them back.
Is it really in Adelan's best interest to increase our population? Our resources can barely support us as we are. We should be going there.
Not now.
No, he's right. Leave the moon. The moon blows. That's why Le Voyage das la Lune is the best movie ever made, because the moon gets shot right in his stupid fucking face. I only used the French title because I didn't want to keep saying moon over and over again. I'm cool, I promise, guys.
You're blind to his intentions. That's one of your greatest weaknesses. Regardless, you have my loyalty.
Next time you see one of your close friends, give them that speech verbatim and see how utterly confused they are. And if they go, oh my god, you like the Inhumans too, then you fucking run. I'm trying to curse less in the show. I'm just not doing a very good fucking job. Gorgon gets angry at this table because...
You should have sent me.
But listen, guy, the table can't really make that kind of decision. Stop beating him up, man.
Take Gorgon to exactly where Triton was. It looks horrible there.
Isn't that the White House's new slogan?
It looks horrible there.
There are so many obvious commercial break spots in this that I just cannot imagine seeing this in an actual theater. Like, could you imagine paying money to see this? Do you know how much IMAX tickets cost? If I paid that much to see this in a theater, I probably would have pulled a mask from that first scene. So as if the exposition overload wasn't grating enough already, they decided they need to show a flashback of how these two met. You guys know you had a whole season to show shit like this? You didn't have to cram it all into the first episode. Why'd you do that? Is it because you realized you didn't have enough material to stretch this thing out to an hour and a half without showing us completely pointless shit? Oh, that's why they did the thing, isn't it? Axebad acts like a creepy Hollywood producer, so Hare chokes him out and then walks away, and he realizes that, oh my god, that kid was right. Sort of. What kind of a superpower is you can predict people's future, but only as vaguely as possible? Is that the power that all tarot card readers have? Axebad tells this guy he wants to do a treason, and they have a competition for who can pull off the worst performance.
I'll be blunt. Does Black Bolt's plan, staying hidden up here, make sense?
Well, do you have a better one?
Yes. We go to Earth. All of us.
Maximus.
The small scope of our city is holding us back in many ways.
Perhaps.
Black Bolt is afraid that if we return to Earth, we'll get into a war with the humans. But fear is not the emotion that should be dictating our actions. We need to be bold.
Your brother thinks different.
Congrats, you're both winners. I'm the loser in this scenario.
I threw it on the ground!
Knowing that you actually agree with me, but hold out hope for a useless game. I'm talking to a dead man.
You see, this is how I know all the humor in the show is unintentional, because when they try, it just doesn't work, does it?
Still going with the lithium. We're here under the order of King Maximus.
King Maximus? Really?
He still wasn't expecting that. What's that? Something's actually gonna happen in this turd? What? Don't worry, everybody. I know this thing's been pretty shit so far, but you're about to see something amazing. Bad fight scenes set to horrible covers of Doors songs. Wait, that's what you wanted, right? Oh no, not him. He's my favorite. Guess he's still alive. Oh, you're gonna make me watch that fucking fight scene again, aren't you?
He has the royal guards with him.
Look, I'm the head of the Royal Guards. Look, send Lockjaw to get me.
No. I don't have time to spell it out for you. You need to stay there.
Why? Why should he stay there? Why shouldn't he come back and help fight? I mean, I know they said that this other guy has the support of the people, but to be honest, any of these guys could probably just easily crush him. Like, do you want to go to Earth or do you want to stay on the moon? Pick a side, goddammit. Mike Tyson tells Sia that she needs to go, but because everybody in this show has to act like an even bigger idiot to outshine the idiot who came before them, she goes around saving people, ultimately getting herself and the pupper captured. Yeah, what a great strategy. Have them detain the only teleportation device that can get people in and out, leaving everybody stranded on another planet. You know, can Axpad just be king forever? Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, Andy, that door scene was cool enough, but wouldn't it be cooler if they did the same fucking thing they did 3 minutes ago, but with a Rolling Stones cover instead? You bet it would.
I look inside myself and see my heart is black.
Hair loses, so Axpad decides to shave off all of her hair, and it turns into a Lars von Trier movie for a few minutes for some reason.
Okay, I'm a Nazi.
Don't worry, Lars. Disney doesn't seem to have a problem with that. Just don't tweet anything ever and you're good. It's okay, on Earth they have these places called Party City. You can just find another one. Don't worry about it. You guys ready for the most unintentionally hilarious scene in this thing? Here you go.
Are you going to speak? Are you going to use your voice? Kill your only brother. Just like you murdered our parents.
I love that so much. It's like one of those over-the-top drug PSAs they always used to show to scare us.
Marijuana.
Pot. Not even once.
If you're doing it, stop it.
So the scout yells and kills everybody, and that's where it ends. The show's over. Goodbye. What the fuck? Finish the review. I don't wanna! Okay, fine. So everybody but the big dog and duct tape hair make their way back to Earth and land in Hawaii, where they are immediately killed by a volcanic eruption. Can I leave now? Since the world is a cruel place, the plot keeps moving forward.
You should have known this day was coming.
What the?
Was that, man? Hey, where you going? Hey, where are you going? You can't just run off.
Why can't he run off? I think this accident was more your fault than his, guy. What were you even trying to do here? What's the matter? You ain't never seen a giant bulldog and a man clad entirely in tight black leather? I Promere thought this was gonna replace the fucking X-Men.
But I will find out. And trust me, justice will be served.
Why did you say it like that? Trust me, justice will be served. I'd like to think that as filming went on for this, everybody just kind of realized what they were in and just stopped giving a shit. That's a joke, obviously. Nobody gave a shit from the start. So No Hair calls up Scal, but he obviously can't respond to her. You know, why is this advanced society that has a king that can't speak because he might blow up everybody? Why haven't they thought of some form of text-based communication? Like, we've had texting on Earth for quite a while now. Just come to Earth. The moon sounds, it just sounds horrible.
I need to find my king.
I'm just gonna start talking like this in my everyday life, just loudly declaring my agenda to the world. I need to do laundry. I need to schedule a bikini wax. I need to stop eating Jimmy John's. It's not even good. Also, did you guys know that Jimmy John's a real piece of shit? I didn't really have a video where I could have talked about this, exposed this opinion, so I guess I'm just sort of cramming it in here, but yeah, oh my god, like, what is it with guys with Johns in their last name owning restaurants and being just total pieces of shit? What does this have to do with Inhumans? Nothing, that's why I'm talking about it. You would have thought he might be able to see that happening, considering he sees probability or whatever the fuck his power is. But nope, I guess people's powers only work when they feel like it. Oh well. They keep framing this guy's actions as evil, but honestly, he's the only one making sense out of anybody. This seems like a perfectly friendly takeover. This is like a story of two brothers, you know, one who has creative ideas and wants to go out and really make something for himself, and then another one who's just set in his ways and wants to stay where he is. Except where he is a stupid crater on a dumb rock, and it's run by slave labor. Ike Perlmutter thought this was going to replace the X.
You're young, pretty, smart. A princess even. But none of that will keep terrible tragedy from falling upon you.
Isn't that just kind of a general thing for anyone?
You should have sent me.
Oh my god, they keep showing that scene. I'm not editing those in, but I'm very happy that the editor found it as funny as I did. Actually, come to think of it, did I edit this movie? I mean, I don't remember doing that, but they say trauma's very easy to block out.
So, you're one of them?
No. You're one of them.
No, you're one of them.
No, you're one of them.
Gorgon meets some surfers and I guess just starts living with them. I mean, hell, later even calls up Axebat and tells them directly to just come to fight him there. And you know, I'm sure that's totally gonna happen. What's that? He wants to travel all that way to experience great physical pain? And what exactly do we lose by staying up here and doing nothing? Nothing whatsoever. Oh, okay, yeah, we're just gonna stick with that then.
I have no choice. I have to wait here until they send someone to bring me back.
Back where?
The moon.
Cool. That'd probably be my reaction too, honestly. Oh good, they cut back to these people, still arguing about hooves and energy bursts?
We were able to pick up 4 energy bursts above Hawaii at almost exactly the same time.
So, what you're suggesting is that our creature with the hooves and 3 of his buddies smashed our rover, and now they've come to visit us.
I don't know if they're buddies.
You were hired here because everyone thinks you're brilliant. A little nutty, maybe, but brilliant. But now it's looking like the nutty part is pushing brilliant right out of the way.
There are fucking wizards on Earth. Magic exists. Anything can happen. Terrence Howard could even turn into Don Cheadle. By the way, Ike Perlmutter didn't think anybody was gonna notice that. Yeah. Wow.
King. Need to find my king.
Good to see he's picking up where he left off, I guess. Paint it black, but, you know, just partially in the middle. And no hair, talking this stupid wrist thing, and everyone looks at her like she's nuts. And she even points out that the location is most likely being traced. So good job, whatever long-ass name I just made up for you. You're batting 1,000 for involvement here. So this scene is completely pointless. How do you even write that and say, yeah, that should stay in? This should be an hour and a half. This lady decides to go kill No Hair by the way of, oh my god, kill it with fire. It experiences pain.
It's painful.
And that means it can cause it. I'm having flashbacks of that weird Tim Curry organ that was in that terrible Beauty and the Beast sequel.
I'm bolted to the wall!
So par for the course, Scal acts like a dickhead and steals this suit, making all these people's days worse, and straight up assaulting someone in the process. God, I love him so much. Could he just like yell into a mirror so a bunch of glass gets shot into his face?
Freeze! Down on your knees.
I hate this guy's smug expressions. Take one look in that face and tell me it isn't something you want to punch immediately. This looks like the type of guy who would tell you how much his clothes cost at any given opportunity. Get dirt on these pants? Sir, this suit cost me an arm and a wrist. So our courageous hero decides to beat up even more police officers who are probably just trying to do their job and handle the situation. You know, I really like him. He's a brave bitch. They beat the crap out of him and tase him until he eventually blows up a car, much the way Jay-Z did in that one video. Then the scene gets really weird. Trying to figure out what tone this show is going for is like trying to interpret the dreams of a serial killer on PCP.
I do miss Kitang and his guidance. Do you know what his last words were? They were sort of gurgling, guttural sound. Not exactly words.
That line sounded so cool in somebody's head, but alas, it was delivered by a corpse. So No Hair and Lady have a dumb fight while Scal gets processed and decides to give the cameraman a little blue steel. Oh yeah, and the fight ends with No Hair stabbing this other lady and just sort of half-heartedly covering her body with a tarp. Yeah, don't worry, ain't nobody gonna find her now. So we finally see the horrible conditions most of these people work in, and Axebag gives a terrible speech about change, I think?
Like everyone in Adelan, we are defined by change. Who we are today is not who we are born. We transform. An evolution that usually only happens once in our lifetimes. But change is happening today.
Gal goes to prison. I don't remember what happened to the other two guys, and it turns out Lady's not dead after all, but who gives a shit because it's over. And as we all know, no more episodes other than this were made. You can't make me watch them. I already did this. My curse is fulfilled, damn it. I'm not putting myself through this again. But hey, at least it had a happy ending. I mean, all those terrible people got separated and removed from power, and this new guy's in charge with his crazy radical ideas. Maybe that'll lead to some good change. I think that's the moral overall. So do you see the potential like me and my boy Ike? I mean, come on. This is gonna make the X-Men franchise look like total garbage.
You came here looking for permission. Jean.
Ah, shit, they already did that themselves. Well, I guess this was completely pointless after all. Thanks, Scott and Ike, you wasted my time yet again. Don't watch this. You've already done so well, judging by the cancellation, so let's just keep the train rolling. This isn't something you need to see. So I think the lesson here is that driving all your business decisions purely based to compete with another studio usually doesn't result in the best product. And who knows, maybe Ike's learned his lesson, and hey, maybe he could spread that lesson on to every other Hollywood executive, and I wouldn't have to sit through a Conjuring cinematic universe. What is that? And as for Ike Perlmutter, don't worry, I'll be taking jabs at your old pals, the Fox X-Men, in the next episode when I look at one of the greatest blunders, X-Men Origins Wolverine. So tune back in to see all of that something. Thank you all for watching me suffer. I know this was a bit more of a heated episode than normal, but I hope you guys liked it. You guys are the best, and for Ike Perlmutter, you can go fuck yourself.